Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today we are showcasing, we just had a fantasy football draft the other day. We have some notable people from the Madden community. If you guys are on Twitch, you know B-Guard, you know Turb, Tiffany is in it as well as myself, and some other people that we have met throughout the years. And it's a free to enter league. Winner gets $200. We won. Well, we threw the league last year, and Marksman ended up winning the league. And this year, like I said, our draft was the other day. Last year I had first overall draft pick. This year I had fifth, and Tiffany had eighth. Same pick she had last year. And her draft was horrible last year, and it's horrible this year. So first round, we have Christian McCaffrey going first, Saquon Barkley going second, Ezekiel Elliott going third, Michael Thomas going fourth. Then it was my pick. So I had some decisions to make. I wasn't happy with my pick. I'd rather be top three or towards the back end of the draft. I know at fifth I'm not going to get a stud running back. I know Zeke, Barkley, or CMC is going to drop to me. So I know I'm not going to get a top of the line A plus plus running back. And at the back of the draft, I can really just get more of a nice little double dip. And I can take a receiver here, but I'm leaving a pretty good running back on the table. And if I don't take this pretty good running back, then the chances of me getting really good running backs are you really don't want to take a chance, right? So I took Kamara. I felt like it was I'm not too satisfied with Kamara there, but he was the best player available in my opinion for a running back. Well, I felt like I had to take him. I felt like I had to because if I don't, who knows how the draft goes? I don't know if the back end of the draft, if everyone just starts taking running back. By the time it gets back to my pick, if I took a wideout, then I'm probably going to be left with a number two as my number one, and you don't want that because then my number two is going to be a number three, and that's just not good. So I took Kamara. Then we have Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, and then Tiff, it was your pick, and you chose DeAndre Hopkins. Why is that?
I did because I knew that there was all the running backs I wanted, of course, were already gone. So I was like, all right, I need to focus on receivers. And I had a plan for my other picks to be able to achieve getting a running back. But the only way that I could do that was by going ahead and just picking up one of the receivers that I was wanting.
Okay, so you chose receiver, not running back, because there was nobody there that you liked. And instead of settling, like I settled. I wasn't happy with Kamar, but I felt like I had to take him. And you were in that similar situation with this running back where you felt like you either you don't take him and you can go elsewhere, like receiver, like I could have done, which you did, and not have a running back. And you are saying that you are preparing to getting running backs through other means.
Yes.
Okay. So the round ends with, after that, Miles Sanders and then Clyde Edwards. Now, number 10 right here, Turb. He really changed his name to Turbo Mahomes. Oh, my Lord. No, he did not. Turb's Mahomes boys. Ha, ha, ha! All right, so last year, who drafted Mahomes?
Me.
And we ended up making a deal, and I ended up getting Mahomes. And I changed my name to Nelson's Mahomies. Turb's Mahomes boys, huh? All right, so number 10 is not here. So he's auto-drafted. It's just going to go right off of whoever's available, top of the pool there. So it went with Edwards, and then it went back to Kenyon Drake. So he had some really good options. I think he could have went Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes. He could have taken Julio Jones and Mahomes. He could have taken Kittle and a running back. But because he's not here, those are the two picks he got. Then Nick Chubb was then, and then it was your pick, and you chose
Patrick Mahomes.
And why was that? Now, you doing that means it's about, I don't know, 18, 12, 17, a long time before he gets back to you.
Oh, 100%.
No running back. Why did you go Mahomes second overall?
Because I knew that
second round,
having Mahomes was going to give me leverage.
Okay.
Leverage for trades for a running back. I needed one of the best quarterbacks because I already knew that I was going to take a different quarterback and actually start them. Okay. So I figured I would have him. I would go ahead, draft a quarterback early, grab one of the best ones that way I can shift and move and make some deals with Mahomes to get me my running backs.
Okay, so that's trade bait.
That's trade bait.
You took Mahomes
100%.
specifically for you to get a running back.
100%.
Okay. So then we got Josh Jacobs, Tyreek Hill, and then it was my pick. Now Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, if you take a look at a lot of drafts, they say typically quarterbacks go in the third round. So we were early choosing
I
quarterbacks.
did that on purpose, though.
But I know that by the time it comes back to me, I can still get a very good quarterback. But the elite quarterbacks are Mahomes and Lamar. Like those are top tier of, those are the Christian McCaffreys of quarterbacks. So I felt, let's go with Lamar Jackson. I have Alvin Kamara there. And there's no stud running backs at this point. At this point, there's good running backs. Right? There's very good running backs. But there's no clear cut, you must take running backs out there. So instead of settling for a B- receiver, running back, why not go A+ quarterback? So I went with Lamar Jackson. Then we got Julio Jones, Chris Godwin, George Kittle, Deshaun Watson, and then the second round ends. So back on the third round, we're back to front to back. Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, Travis Kelce, Aaron Jones, and for the second time in 3 picks, I settle for a player that I felt like I have to take. Because if I don't take a running back here, by the time it comes back to me, obviously Mixon isn't going to be there and a bunch of other guys. So felt like I had to. Now, I could have taken a running back here. But again, you take a look at the running backs taken between this pick and by the time it got back to me, it was Aaron Jones, Mixon. Those are the only 2 that were taken. So I could have taken Julio and, let's say, Mixon. But then I wouldn't have, Lamar. And again, I'm not in love with any of these running backs. So took Mixon. Don't really love it, but I felt like I had to. No really choice there. Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. And then you went and you chose
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott in the third round.
I did.
Why did you go Dak in the third round?
Because
back-to-back QBs.
I did because Dak is who I wanted to start. Huh? So I knew that I was gonna, of course I was gonna go with Dak, and I could have waited and taken Dak when it came back to me, because of course being so low, it's gonna, wrap around. I have less distance.
But
there.
Also, you take a look at the people behind you. Right after you, there is they still need quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So if you don't take him,
exactly.
Dak is a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not going to get back to you. So you figure you'll jump the gun a little bit, but you get who you want. You'd
Yeah.
rather get him now than not have him at all.
100%.
Okay.
So I went ahead and took Dak.
Okay. Which you did last year. Last year you had Patrick Mahomes.
I did.
And you had Dak Prescott.
I did.
And you end up trading Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
And you end up starting. Well, you started
Dak
most
was starting.
of the year.
Yeah, Dak was starting pretty much the entire year except for when he had his bye week or whenever Mahomes faced the Dolphins. Yeah, it depended on who was playing who that week.
Okay, then your next pick when it got back to you, you took Amari Cooper. Still, no running back.
Mm-hmm.
4 rounds, no running back, and you chose Amari Cooper.
I did.
Why did you choose Amari Cooper?
Because I knew that it was going to be a while before it came back to me.
Okay.
And I feel like with the way that Dallas,
you obviously being a Dallas fan, right? So that's that obviously you want to.
I'm more prone to that. I want to watch the games. I'm going to be watching those games anyway. But I feel like Cooper has a lot to prove this year.
Okay.
So I wanted to go ahead and take him because I knew it was going to be a while before it came back around.
If you didn't take him there, you're not getting him.
I'm not going to get him. Somebody else is going to take him. Yeah. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger and took Cooper.
Okay, after that was Todd Gurley. Then it was my pick, and I needed a receiver. I got 2 running backs. I got my QB. I don't have a receiver yet. And I looked at the possible receivers left, and to me, there's no A1 stud, right? There's no Julio Jones. There's no DeAndre Hopkins out there. Those guys are all gone. OBJ is someone that can be very, very mediocre, or he's someone that can be phenomenal. And obviously, I'm hoping he's going to be phenomenal. The Browns aren't the best team, which is usually good for receivers, right? When you want your receiver to be, at least me, when I'm looking at receivers, I want my receiver to be on a team that passes the ball a lot. What do the Browns do a lot?
Pass the ball.
Why do they pass the ball a lot?
Because they're behind all the time.
And then because they're losing, they need to win, right? They need big points, so they're just chucking it up. And I'm hoping OBJ can go back to his primetime days of the Giants and do some good things. So then Aaron Rodgers, Tyler Lockett, Carson, and AJ Brown goes. Then next time it's on me, and I choose Gronk. Now at that time when I took Gronk, there was about 6 or so tight ends ahead of him. But again, there's a situation where do I see him coming back to me? Because all the top tier receivers are gone, right? A lot of good running backs. Nobody is really getting starting running backs around. So at least you shouldn't. You're like the only one who doesn't have a running back, but everyone else has running backs. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking, okay, no one is really going to be drafting top running backs, because if there was one available, I'd take him, but there wasn't. So I went with Gronk. He's back. Mm-hmm. And he has Brady. And they have Mike Evans, and they have a very good offense. So I figure, let me go with the big Gronkowski. I feel like I'm solid. I have a top tier wide receiver. I have a top 5 running back. I have a decent running back in Mixon. I think he can be top 15 easy, and I think top 10 in a good year. If he finishes top 10, obviously that's great for me. Lamar Jackson, obviously we know what he can do. Phil OBJ can be a top 15. Again, a great year, he can be top 10. And Gronk, I feel, could be top 5. Bottom 5, but I think he could be 4th or 5th or something like that. So, and I figure he has the upside to be a 1 or 2, right? Mm-hmm. Because he's back with Brady. So we went with Gronk. Then your next pick comes, and you went with Michael Gallup.
No, you're skipping one.
I did. You took Melvin Gordon.
I did.
With your fifth round pick. Excuse me. Why did you take Melvin Gordon there?
Basically, I knew that I needed to have at least a running back on my team. He was the best one that was left. So I just kind of took him as a placeholder. Okay. Just in case, because of course I didn't want to get somebody who's not going to see the ball at all. Yeah. So a little bit of points is better than no points.
He is coming off of an injury. I believe an injury. I believe last year it was an injury or contract or whatever. He missed time last year. A healthy Melvin Gordon never sees round 5. Never. He's way up there. He's a top 10 guy. Healthy. He was a top 10 guy. And you got him in round 5.
I did.
You got him in round 5.
But I figured either he could, be a placeholder, or he's going to do really good. So he could sit there.
New home, no longer in with the Colts. The Chargers. What the hell am I talking about? He's no longer with the Chargers, because I'm thinking the Colts, Phillip Rivers went from the Chargers to the Colts. He's no longer with the Chargers. He's now with Denver. And I think that was a very, very, very good pick.
Thank you.
There was a bunch of people passing on him, and I think for you to not draft a running back at all and still potentially get a top 15 could very well be a top 10 guy in round 5 that was a very, very, very good pick. So in round 6, it comes back to you, and you take... No, I took 49ers defense, but before that, you took Michael Gallup.
I had to.
Why did you have to take
Michael Gallup? Because you was going to take him.
I put you on Michael Gallup.
No, you ain't.
You ain't know nothing about Michael Gallup. I told you about him last year. I told you
about
him
last year. Hell, you talking about?
I told you about Michael Gallup. I said this guy is someone you got to watch out for.
Babe. Who went the furthest in the draft? Who went to the playoffs and who was in the loser bracket? Who was in the playoffs?
Okay, first of all, I wasn't in the losers bracket because I didn't make it that far. I didn't.
Oh, but your honey went to the playoffs, my love, and I should have won. If the settings were not messed up, I'd have took the whole darn thing. Let's let that sink in.
You took my Mahomes last year. You took my Mahomes this year. You took my Gallup last year. You take my Gallup this year. You know what that? If it looks like a duck, smells like a duck, and quacks like a duck, you know what it is? Tiffany.
You would know
That's
all
what
about
it is.
them ducks, wouldn't you?
You're a thief.
You would know.
You're a thief.
All
You
about
took
them.
Michael Gallup.
I put
you on Michael Gallup.
You did not put me on. So you're a Dallas fan now.
I didn't know, but I know. Listen, I'm a seasoned vet when it comes to fantasy. Yeah? I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm a seasoned vet. Yeah. You are a rookie.
Oh yeah.
You're new to this, baby girl.
Yeah.
I've been here, done that, won plenty of rings, won plenty of money in fantasy leagues.
Let's see what the people think. Let's see what the people think. They're watching our draft.
Yeah.
They're listening to our reasonings. So they need to leave in the comments for us. Are they Team GS or are they Team Country?
Well, they're always going to say Team GS.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I think they should go with whoever actually, drafted the better team.
They should. They should. They should also.
You can't just go.
No, you're right. You're right.
Just because it's your channel.
No. They should leave in their honest opinion, but also. They have to remember who gave them content for years. Back when you had nothing to watch, who was there for you providing content? Uncle GS. Just keep that in the back of your mind when you're making your decision.
No, you
I'm
can't
not trying
be
to.
biased.
I'm not trying to sway them. I'm just
you are.
reminding them that who's been there for them in their dark times.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
That's who.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Just
Yeah.
keep that in the back of your mind. How you talking about?
Who takes care of their Unc GS?
So you.
Huh?
So you drafted Michael Gallup, and your only reasoning.
I knew you.
Well, you were going to take him eventually.
Well, yeah, of course I would have, but I knew that if it was to go up and down again, then there was a good possibility that you were going to take Michael Gallup. Like that you would have your eye on him and that you would take him. So I wanted to go, or somebody else might, if they actually paid attention to what his numbers did last year.
Okay.
So, and I know he's going to be a hot target for him. His play style has been
He's
developing.
now moved into the number 2 spot with Randall Cobb gone.
He's
now he's no longer the number 3 guy. Amari Cooper re-signed. Randall Cobb is out of there. So now Gallup, who was the number 3 guy, now gets a bigger role.
He does.
And you're banking on his bigger role for him to have some fantasy success.
I did. Yep. I 100% did. Like when I was thinking about drafting, I knew that I was going to, try to get Gallup because I know how much he's seen the ball previously and I've watched him grow as a player, and I do believe that he's
you even
gonna
own his jersey.
I do.
You don't own it. You
bought it for me.
You don't own a Cooper jersey, but you own a Gallup jersey.
I don't own a Cooper jersey. You know what though? I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, he resigned, so now
Cooper
now you
hasn't
know he's
gained me as that like
okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I got Gallup.
You still on the fence
I
about
am.
him?
I'm teeter-tottering with Cooper. I need to see him this year. I really hope that.
You took him with your first overall receiver.
I did.
You're obviously banking a lot on this Dallas offense.
Well, yeah, I am because I have my thought process of the trades the deals that were made and the draft and everything like that. So it's something that I've been paying attention to over the summer, over this long off season, to help me make my decisions.
Okay. I went and chose the 49ers defense. I feel like it was by far way too early to choose the defense. They weren't even the number 1 defense last year. Do you know who the number 1 defense was last year?
Was it the Patriots?
The Patriots. And you picked them up.
I did.
You was the first one to pick them up off the waiver wire.
I did.
And you dropped them.
I did.
And Marksman picked them up.
Yep.
And then they started dominating. Well, they dominated the week you had them.
They did.
But you just wanted a 1 week thing and you dropped them. And
Marksman, because I have a thing that I do. I'm
not
going to reveal all my secrets. Like that has to be like an end of season reveal.
Marksman picked them up and you were the first one to have the number 1 fantasy defense. It was the Patriots. But obviously, when you're into this, you want to win, right? You do this and you want to win. It's competitive. We know everyone in this league, and you want to. It's different when you have like nobody on your team, right? Like having no 49ers. It's like imagine if you had no Cowboys.
Yeah, that wouldn't be as fun for
you. It wouldn't be as fun, right? Like even though we might pick them a little early, you want to have someone from your team, right? At least. I don't know if I could do an entire draft, even if I have a backup. Like, I'm going to need Garoppolo. I need someone on my team.
You know what, though? It's funny you say that. I was scrolling through Twitter.
Yeah.
And 49ers. 49er? Niner?
Yeah.
He did not draft any 49ers.
Yeah, he did not.
He did not. It's funny you say that
seen
his tweet and
he said, do you know why? And I didn't see.
No, I didn't.
Because he had tweeted that I looked at the time, it was 42 seconds ago, so no one had interacted. Yeah, it was a fresh tweet. But I couldn't. Like, last year, I had Garoppolo. I had a few Niners. This year.
Yeah, Lord, you were trying to give Jimmy G away like you're trying to give Cam Newton away this year.
Why are you giving away my picks? We haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh, my bad. I'll mute that.
Yeah, they don't. They
I
probably,
can take that out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I chose the 49ers defense very early, but I feel like they're going to be returning back to possibly the best defense in the league. To me, I just want to fill up my roster at this point. Right, I'm not going to draft a backup quarterback at this point because he's not going to see the field. I already have my starting tight end. I already have my starting wide receiver. I already have both my running backs. So at this point, it's either draft a flex, draft a wide receiver who I'm not in love with anyone at this point, or draft. Let me just get the defense out the way. So I went ahead and drafted Niners. Just get them out the way, round 6. Possibly could have got them round 8 or 9, but. Again, I don't know. If they're taking round 7 or 8, I'm like, damn, I wish I would have gotten them there. There's nobody after the 49ers that was taken that I could say, like, damn, I can't believe I took the 49ers over this person.
Right.
So it's like I had to live with the decision of take him early because I'm not sure if I'm gonna get him back. You just never know when you're in the middle like this. You never know what's gonna happen by the time it comes back to you. So it comes back to me, and I take Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry, and people are like, well, another receiver for Cleveland. Remind them again, Tiffany. What does Cleveland do a lot?
Throw the ball.
Why do they throw the ball a lot, Tiffany?
Because they're always behind.
Always behind, and that's my strategy. The Browns stink. They're going to throw the ball a lot. And
they're going to throw the ball, but, babe, they got to catch the ball.
One of them is going to catch it.
I
believe Landry had, 6 touchdowns, like 80 receptions or something like that last year. He had a very good year.
Yeah.
He had a very good year. OBJ had a year that, similar to Landry, but OBJ is expected to be a top-tier receiver. He's expected to put up top-tier numbers, which he did not. So it was a little bit decline of him. But you know the only thing that sucks about my draft, and I'm in love with my team.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one thing that sucks. I'm going to have to watch Browns games this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch all 16 Brown games this year.
I'll be right there with you.
That hurts me inside. Because last year was your first year watching fantasy, right?
Yeah.
And it was your first year, you can honestly say that.
That I watched. Like,
instead of when your Cowboys play at 8 o'clock, usually, because you would just wait till your game. You might scroll through and see something, but you weren't invested in it.
No.
But now you're watching all the Chiefs games, right? Because
100%.
You want to see where your Mahomes is going.
We even had it on the radio. Remember when we were coming
driving,
back? Yeah.
You're watching now. You're watching your players. So like this year, you're obviously going to be watching Denver just to see what Melvin Gordon does before your Cowboys play. And stuff like that makes watching football so much more enjoyable. And
you're going to think I've been like a lifelong fan.
So
I'm
much
be yelling
enjoyable.
At him. Let's get it.
Exactly. So I will be watching every Browns game. But to my defense, right, I think Landry can... One of them I feel like can put up a big year. Can both of them dominate? No. Can both of them be top 10 guys? I don't see it. But one of them possibly. One of them possibly can be a top 10 guy. And... I feel like we take Landry, we take OBJ. What do the Browns do again?
Pass the ball.
Why do they pass the ball?
Because they're always behind.
Always behind. They got to come back. So I figure I like the 1-2 punch. Honestly, I do, and I'm satisfied with it. You know, the only thing that sucks is I'm gonna be watching Browns games, man. So we go to round 8, and you choose the Ravens defense.
I did.
Why did you choose the Ravens defense?
Because I wanted to go ahead and get a decent defense on the team.
At that point, that is the 3rd defense taken. So I take the Niners, and then the Bills were taken next. So, you know, now defense are starting to come off a little bit. So you went ahead, like, you know, let me get a top defense now, get it out the way, and, you know, have a nice little staple.
I'm going to be honest. I almost wanted the Patriots. I almost did it. But I had been doing my research and stuff, and I went with the Ravens.
It's very, very, very good defense. So now you solidify with a top defense there. I go on and I take who arguably could be the number 1 kicker in fantasy in my man Harrison, who's the kicker for the Chiefs. And the Chiefs score a lot. They score a lot.
Yeah.
They're in field goal range a lot. They're kicking a lot of extra points. They're kicking a lot of field goals. So again, at that point, I have 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, a quarterback, a defense. All I need to fill in my roster is a flex player because we have. Do we do 3 receivers? We do quarterback. 3 receivers, 2 running backs. 3 receivers, yeah. So I need one wide receiver in the flex. It was like, you know what? Let me get the top tier kicker. Just get him now. Get him out the way. And I'm a firm believer in just getting a top defense, getting a top kicker. Those are. You know, to me, instead of getting a C running back at this point or B- running back, let me get the A+ kicker. Why not? Get him out the way, and I'm solid. So round 9 comes along, and it's back to me, and I take Will Fuller. I take Will Fuller as my 3rd receiver because they have a big person missing in Houston, Tiffany. Do you know who's no longer part of the Texans? Who is no longer part of the Texans? Hopkins is no longer part of the Texans. He's not there. He's gone.
He's gone.
You had him last year.
He's gone. Yeah.
And you took him again this year.
And I took him again.
He dominated last year.
You know why? Because he's going to be a hot target this year for him.
He's going to be a hot target. Kyler Murray, young quarterback, fast offense, high powered up. But you know, I could see him doing very well in Arizona.
100%.
But Will Fuller is now the number one guy there.
Uh-huh.
And Deshaun Watson needs someone to pass to,
Yeah.
right? He needs someone. And Fuller is very injury prone. But let's just say in a perfect world, no one gets injured, which is one of the worst things I never pray for. I hate when like someone gets injured, someone's excited about it. Even if it's
I could never
against
be
the team I'm rooting for,
no.
you don't ever want to see an injury, ever. So in a perfect world, no injuries. Will Fuller, the number one wideout for Houston. Can he be what Hopkins was? Absolutely not. Hopkins is a rare talent. You don't see those guys often. But Will Fuller, I feel like he can put up very good number 2 fantasy, numbers. I feel like he can be a guy that's a very good top 20 guy. In an incredible year, he could be top 15 or something like that. But I'm banking on him. 3rd wide receiver on my team, number 1 option in Houston, round 9. Feel like it's a no-brainer. Now at this point, my whole roster's set.
Right.
From top to bottom, QB, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, defense, tight end, kicker. My whole starting roster is done. Now at this point, I'm taking backups. But I'm in love with my first 9 picks. Later that round, you go with James White.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you go with James White?
Because I still needed another running back.
You did?
And
now this is your 2nd running back chosen in round 9.
It is. It is.
9 rounds.
And, the Patriots, they got Cam Newton as their quarterback now.
They do.
And I feel like there might be a lot more running.
Okay.
And so, of course, I haven't seen too much with
even
Cam.
when they don't run the ball,
they still get a lot of yards.
New England is known
they
for
do.
dump offs. A lot of quick passes to the running backs.
Yeah.
Very friendly system there with the running
So,
backs in New England.
I was looking at numbers and everything else, and here we are. We're in the round 9, and I'm like, okay, nobody has chosen either of the running backs for the Patriots.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, let's take a chance, and just off of a hunch, I'm gonna go ahead and draft them.
Very next round, you choose before me. You go with Robbie Gould. You get your kicker situated out the way. Now, the 49ers are another team. Very good defense. And defense translates to good field position, right? When your defense is very good, you can stop the other team from moving the ball downfield, which can relate in good field position. And that can turn into a lot of field goals, right? If we start our possession on the 30-yard line instead of the 7.
And I remember him doing very well.
Yeah, Robbie Gould's a very
I remember
reliable
him doing
kicker.
very well.
Very reliable kicker.
Why I went ahead and took him.
And when I always look into kickers, because most people don't even look into kickers, right? They figure it's something I can go at the end of the draft. But for me, I like kickers on either a high-scoring offense, because obviously they score a lot, or very good defenses, where they can flip field position. And usually, those very good defenses don't have the best offense, right? The 49ers, we're not an offensive team. We're a running team. We run the ball a lot, and we rely on our defense. And when your defense is very good and your offense is okay-ish, that leads to a lot of field goals. That leads to getting the ball into 35, 20-yard line, can't score, can't really punch it in, and a lot of field. I like that pick. Not being biased, but good defense. Okay-ish offense, that translates to a lot of field goals. So you got your kicker out the way. I go and I choose Julian Edelman. You had Edelman last year.
I did.
You drafted him last year.
I did.
You traded him to me last year.
I did. He put up good numbers too.
He does. He catch passes. He's not someone who's going to score 15 touchdowns, but
no, but he gets a lot.
He can get 6 catches for
You
62
told them this
yards.
is a PPR league, right?
No, this
This
is a PPR, and for those of you who don't understand the term, PPR is point per reception. So if the way the score system is every reception by anybody on the team that you have starting is 1 point. Is 1 point per 10 yards rushing, 1 point per 10 yards receiving. A touchdown is worth 6 points receiving or rushing. Quarterback rushing 1 point is for 10 yards. Passing, I believe, is 1 point for every 25 yards, and a passing touchdown is 4 points. Some leagues do like 1 for every 10, 6 touchdowns, or 6 points for a touchdown. That would just be insane. That would have QB, because a quarterback could throw for 35 touchdowns a year.
Yeah.
Right? They can throw for 40. Nobody's catching 40 touchdowns a year. No one's running for 40. That's just insane. They would, lead the league in scoring by a landslide. So to kind of balance it out, 1 point for every 25 passing yards and 4 points for every touchdown. So it is a PPR, and I'm banking on Julian Edelman to give me 6 receptions, 50, 60, 70 yards. He catches the ball. That's what he does. He catches the ball, and I figure that's a good flex. Why not?
Yeah.
Throw him out there. We'll see how the Patriots are going to look with Tom Brady not there, and I can see Edelman just getting little dump offs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
All he does.
I mean,
All he does is run little drag routes and be annoying.
in the PPR
catch
league,
passes.
though,
He's
that's
valuable.
what you need.
He's
You
valuable.
need, that's something that I look at whenever I'm drafting, because I'm like, who's gonna get those catches that are gonna add up?
So I go on ahead and then I take Cameron Newton, the steal of the draft. The steal of the draft, baby. Now we cooking with some grease. Round 11. It's my time to talk. Let me speak, Tip. Round 11, I take the steal of the draft. How do every person here allow me to get Cameron? Would you stop laughing at me? I'm speaking. Can you stop laughing, please? How do you? Oh, well, wait. Well, I got all day. I ain't got nowhere to go. Can you stop?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hold on. I
How-
gotta breathe first. I can't breathe. Okay. Excuse me.
How do y'all let me get Cam Newton in round 11? Coming fresh off an injury.
Do you want me to answer this?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was hypothetical.
Oh, okay.
Round 11, he has a brand new team. What team is that, Tiff?
The Patriots.
Who are they coached by, Tiffany?
Bill Belichick.
Bill William Belichick. And William Belichick is going to bring Cam to absolutely stardom. What's my team name, Tiff? Do you see my team name right there? What did I name my team right here?
Cam Run Fig Newton.
The Cam Run Fig Newtons. For anybody that drafted Cam, for those of you who did not, I apologize that you weren't thinking outside the box, and I feel sorry for you. But for the smart intellects of you, Tiffany, please stop laughing. I can see you on my peripheral. For those of you that were smart enough to draft Cameron Newton, feel free to use that name, Cameron Fig Newtons, because I promise you, Bill Belichick in that system, he is going to do phenomenal. He's going to flourish. He is...
So, babe,
yes.
the real question here.
Okay.
If he's going to be under Bill Belichick.
He is.
And all
William
that.
Belichick, baby.
But-
bring it on home, Cam.
But if he's going to bring it on home.
Oh, he bringing it home, man. I can't steal up the draft. Round 11. I couldn't be the Cameron Fig Newtons without Cam
Hey,
Newton.
it's my time to talk.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm asking a question.
Okay.
So, if he's all this glory and everything, and he is a steal in the 11th round.
That's a steal.
That's a steal?
100%.
No, because nobody wanted him, sweetheart. But, honey, why are you trying to trade him to everybody and their mama?
I'm not trying to trade him.
Oh, now you ain't trying to trade
I'm
him?
not trying to trade him.
But I got.
How can I be the
I'm
Cameron
gonna have to-
Fig Newtons?
I'm gonna have to put some screenshots in this video.
I'm not trying. Why would I try to trade Cameron Fig Newton?
Okay.
And first of all, if this allegedly happened, which I doubt it, and we all know I can't become intoxicated. I've never been drunk in my life because I have an iron liver.
Because you don't drink enough.
I have an iron liver. It is what it is.
Because you don't drink enough.
It's because I have an iron liver. I've drank. You see me drink, baby girl. I guzzle it and nothing happens. I have an iron liver. God just built me different. So Cameron Newton, if let's say this alleged trade happened, which I don't believe it did, but let's just say in this fantasy world,
Yeah.
I go on ahead and I trade Cameron or I offer him. I'm gonna need high value back because Cam Newton is going to flourish in New England.
High value doesn't
You know what's
come
gonna
in
happen?
the 11th round.
You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna do very well. This is listen to Unc, yo. Unc
Then
never
you should
steers
start
y'all
him.
wrong. Unc
Is
never
he
steers
starting
y'all.
on your
I
team?
mean, I'm not crazy. Come on now. Come on. There's no reason for me to start him over Lamar Jackson. That would just be absurd. But the fact that I take him in the 11th round means to me is I'm sitting there doing the Birdman hand rush because
I hope he's a sleeper for you.
I know that he's gonna dominate, and I'm gonna trade him. I'm gonna trade him.
Yeah.
I believed in him, and he's gonna do well just so I could trade him.
I told you I would make a trade with you.
Just so I could move him. So steal of the draft,
Uh-huh.
Cameron Newton. You going ahead and you choose. You're the first person to choose a second defense.
I am.
You chose the Dallas Cowboys. You
Yeah.
choose two quarterbacks.
Yep.
And you draft two defenses.
I do.
Why did you go with the second defense?
Because I like to switch it up
Okay.
for my defense. I'm not going to go into detail onto how much I switch up my defenses or anything.
But the
like
Cowboys are
But
in
the Cowboys,
in the
and
NFC
especially
East.
with-
Their division is a
with,
little
that. You know,
little light, right? They got
little light.
I mean, they got the
Yeah.
Giants. The Giants
Yeah,
are,
yeah,
you know, the Giants aren't really
No,
that
you're
good.
right. You're
so
right. You're right.
They got some, you know.
But
so
you
you
know,
go
the
depending
Dallas
on
defense,
matchups.
it did wonderful, amazing things last year, And
in the offseason, they made some big moves.
And I was going to say, in the offseason, they definitely made some moves. So it's something that I wanted to have on the bench, even if I don't use them. I wanted to have them in my pocket.
Okay.
And that way I could hold on to them and kind of just get a feel for what they do this year. But there's also going to be bye weeks and things like that. So at this point, I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking, okay, bye weeks, different things like that. Like I don't want to just completely bomb out whenever I have bye weeks.
Yeah. Some people believe it. I've been in leagues where people will draft. They're not really paying attention. They're going for good players, and they have 4 players on the same bye week. And when that bye week coming, they're scruffling to try. And some people won't even like. It's only one bye week. Like I don't care. That 1 week could be a big difference.
Oh, 100%.
That 1 week could kick you out the playoffs.
I don't want to lose any week.
Yeah, that 1 week could kick you out the playoffs. So I don't. I've never. If I see I have 3 players in week 8 with the bye week, you best believe by 4 weeks before that I'm already planning
100%.
on I need that situation fixed because I'm not you give away a free win that can be a big difference. So you choose a second defense, and the next round you go before me. You go with Sony Michel, the other running back from the New England Patriots.
Yep.
So you figure why not just take one day? Obviously use like a running back by because they have different running backs that they use, little committee system there. So you figure
they both put up pretty decent numbers.
Yeah. So you figure we'll grab both
without with Tom Brady being there.
With Brady.
So it's like, all right, I might as well go ahead and take him, and that way if I get rid of one of them in a trade, then I still have at least one of them there to fill in a spot if I need it.
Who's your starting quarterback?
Mr.
Cameron Newton, baby. That's why you took him. You took him because you knew Cameron Newton is going to dominate.
He's going to have to hand
That's
him
very
the ball.
smart.
He's
That's
going to
very
have to
smart.
hand him
Smart
the ball.
decision.
You're
Smart.
right.
That's the reason why I took Edelman. That's the reason why you got all their running backs. You got other running backs because Cam
is going to have to hand him the ball.
Dominate.
He's going to have to hand him the ball so they can run with it and get the yards.
So at this point, there's really no top tier players. At this point, you're just filling roster. You're looking for someone that could possibly come in for a bye week or might have some good upside, or you're just filling out your roster. I take Jordan Howard, then Jordan Cook. You go with the Saints defense. You choose a third defense.
I did. Saints defense is a good defense. But I'm also looking at putting stuff on my team for trades.
Okay.
Just to make those, those deals that are just like, You got to throw something, just a little something in there extra.
Yeah, a little something
That's,
extra.
they just need a little seasoning.
So you take 3 defenses
I did.
in 13 rounds. So that means that there's 9 other people that could not get those 2 defenses.
That's right.
And those 2 defenses you're saying could just be sprinkled as a topper on a trade. Okay, I respect it. So then round 14, I go with Matt Breida. You go with Dan Bailey.
I do.
A backup kicker, Dan Bailey. But at the end of the point, we're nearing the end. I take the Rams defense, who are, they're like at the bottom. I don't even know why I took them. I don't know. But at the end of this round, like, we've been drafting for like an hour, some change. I just want to get the hell up out of here. I took the Rams, and you took Blake Jarwin.
I did.
Round 15. Let the record show, guys.
This is my second tight end.
This is
I think you skipped my first one.
Another person I put her on.
No, that's a lie.
So let me see. Baby got that.
Although I was very upset when Jarwin was playing instead of Witten sometimes.
Who was your other tight end?
Higbee, I think.
I don't see you as another tight end.
Yeah, I had another tight end. It should have been within the first 7. I'd say within the first 7 rounds. Yep, there he is, Tyler Higbee, number 8, 7th round.
Oh yeah, we did miss that.
Yeah, we did miss that.
Oh yeah, you took Tyler Higbee. Okay,
I did.
For Los Angeles Rams. Okay, so Blake Jarwin is your backup.
Well, no, I wasn't 100% sure, but I went ahead and took somebody who I knew was, obviously had put up better numbers than Jarwin did before. Yeah. And I knew nobody else was going to think about Jarwin, not with Witten going, to the Raiders and everything like that. So now Jarwin is starting tight end, but I also didn't want to stick myself with a bunch of Cowboy players with nobody to interchange them out with when the bye week came.
I end with Larry Fitzgerald, old reliable, just because I know I'm going to win the fantasy league. I know I'm my man Larry Fitzgerald to get a ring. You end with Randall Cobb.
I did.
Another Cowboy.
Well, he's not anymore.
Another Cowboy. Oh, that's right. He's now in Houston.
Yeah, he's now in Houston.
And he is now the number 2 guy. in Houston. So we go, and your team name is
Baby Got Dak.
Baby Got Dak. So we take a look, and you have a draft, which anybody with a brain can see that you're weak at running back.
Yeah.
That's your only weakness. You have a stud wide receiver. You have two top 5 quarterbacks. You have nice stable of decent running backs, but you just let all the running backs fly off the table.
I did.
Because you invested in.
I invested
while
in
everyone
other
was
positions
playing
so I could trade.
checkers,
Yeah.
you were playing chess.
Yeah.
And those pieces that you took ended up in a deal for you today,
They
did
did.
they? You ended up making a deal. That's why, if you guys seen, Turb team name is now Turb's Mahomes Boys. Because he
got Mahomes.
He's now the proud owner of Mahomes. So when we put everyone in the Twitter group of the fantasy league, immediately you let people know that Mahomes is available, right? Yeah. But you not only say Mahomes is available, you targeted a person that badly needed a quarterback.
Yes.
Turb, again, was not here, and Turb was auto-drafted, and his auto-draft...
He was sleep.
Drafted him 5 running backs. 5.
And pretty darn good ones, too.
And his starting quarterback was Danny Dimes, which he was not happy with.
Oh, I wouldn't be happy either.
He was not happy with his quarterback situation. So it was a match made in heaven, right? He's overloaded with running backs. You're overloaded at QB. So this was the deal that happened today. And it says that Baby Got Dak dropped Dan Bailey. And you traded Randall Cobb, the Ravens defense, and Patrick Mahomes.
I did.
In return, you got the Colts defense, Kyle Edwards, AJ Green, and Kenyon Drake. Now, Turb, again, was not here. In Turb's first 2 rounds...
Turb was hurting everywhere, except for running back.
Let's go back to the draft here. Turb's first overall pick was Edwards. His second overall pick was
Drake.
So you traded Mahomes.
Yes.
And got
his first and second round
pick.
Yes.
Now, as bad as that may look, you clearly won the deal.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But it's a trade that he needed to do.
Yeah,
he needed to do it. Because, again, he drafted 5 running backs, so he could...
He tried to swindle some more in there and everything like that, but I wasn't desperate like that.
He can remove those guys and still be solid. He has Eckler, and he has Connor. Those guys are good.
Yeah.
Those guys are good.
If Connor ain't dropping it.
So he went from, really A guys, he went to like B- guy, but they're still good, right? And they can put up, good numbers. But now he has arguably the best fantasy quarterback out there, and Patrick Mahomes. But what that did for your team...
Gave me a huge boost.
Was that now your team that was very weak at running back, now you have a 3-headed monster in Edwards, in Drake, and...
Look at my beautiful bench, too.
All the way down here in Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
So what once was your weakness could very well be a strength.
Yeah.
You have Edwards and Drake that was taken first round and second round with Hopkins, Cooper, and Dak Prescott. And you have Melvin Gordon on the bench.
I do.
And you have CeeDee Lamb.
But I thought about,
And he threw in AJ Green.
Yeah.
We were there when
AJ
he was looking at it.
Green,
He just threw it in there.
He was like, I'll give you AJ Green and the Colts defense if you give me the Ravens defense.
He just threw in
give me AJ Green. Go ahead.
For absolutely no reason.
Let's go ahead and do this.
That right there was something that was, again, didn't play last year. Did he? I know he missed like game of the season. If he played anything, it was like a game or two. Yeah, was it?
I was looking at his
season
numbers and everything.
But when he's healthy, he's a top 10 guy.
Yeah.
Possibly top 5. So worst case scenario, you get a dud.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter because he literally just threw him in.
Yeah, because
Best case scenario, you got yourself a top 10 guy.
Yeah.
To go along with Hopkins, who's a top 5 guy. To go with Cooper, that's the top 10 guy.
Yeah.
And now, but again, as lopsided as the trade may be, well, I wouldn't say lopsided. He needed to do it. he needed to make a move for Mahomes.
Well, bless
he
his
had
heart.
5
His team
running
was
backs.
just so bad.
Yeah, they drafted
Like,
5 running
yeah.
backs from 5. He was just and 5 good running backs. Where if he had no backups, it would he couldn't move those 2 guys because he could say, who am I going to have at running back? There's no way.
Yeah.
But with his backups, he can say, okay, I can upgrade at quarterback dramatically. And still, even if Edwards gives you 17 points, Connor can get him 13. That's not far off, right? That's good.
Yeah.
But Mahomes is capable of putting up 30.
Yeah.
25 consistently.
Yeah. He was doing like 20. I think the average I would say last year was like 23 or 24.
Yeah, which is
I mean, he hit over 30.
That's phenomenal.
A couple times.
That's phenomenal. So
but so did Dak.
It upgrades his team. And while everyone was playing checkers, you was playing chess, and you drafted Mahomes. And Mahomes, you turned Mahomes into 2 running backs.
I did.
How do you feel about your team now?
I'm pretty confident. There's a couple more moves that I need to make, and I'm gonna wait and see. I'm watching, Lamb, of course, which thanks to you for bringing him up and planting that seed because you told me he went undrafted, and then it just started. My wheels started turning, so we went ahead and picked up Lamb, and I'm feeling pretty good. Like I think, it was the right choice to go ahead and draft Mahomes early before anybody else was drafting quarterbacks or anything because that gave me, a chance to get my running back game up. And I've got several decent running backs now. And I can still have room to trade. I still have room for bye weeks. And, I don't think I'm really going to be hurting throughout the season.
I'm very, very happy with my squad from a spot where 5th isn't the worst pick. I just don't like it. I'd rather be where you were. If we could have swapped, I would have. I just don't like being 5th. To me, you're just dealing. It just puts you in a tough situation where you're just out of arm's reach of the best running back, and like we got Kamara never rushes for a lot of yards, but he's phenomenal because he gets a lot of catches. He's very, very versatile in the receiving game, but still, top 5 running back. We got Lamar Jackson. We got Mixon. We got 2 Browns running. What do the Browns do, Tiff?
They pass the ball.
Why do they pass the ball a lot, Tiff?
Because they're always behind.
Always behind, and I'm banking on him tossing them up, and hopefully one of my guys come down with it. It's either going to be one of my guys or the other team, and I'm just hopefully it's one of my guys, I like Gronk. The upside there for Gronk can be very good.
Oh, 100%.
In my flex, I'm going to be flipping between Edelman and Fuller. Feel like Fuller definitely has better potential than Edelman, but Edelman is more consistent. So week 1, I'm going to start Edelman because I'm banking on Edelman at least 5 to 7 catches.
Yeah.
Fuller, I don't know what I'm going to get out of yet. I got to see, what's going to happen first. But we have Cameron Newton, the steal of the draft, baby.
That's
and guess what? Breaking news. He's the starting quarterback for the Patriots. Look how happy he is.
Oh, yeah.
Cameron Fig Newtons, man.
He can hand it right into my running back.
He is absolutely smiling. He is going to be a absolute dominant QB. I know for a fact that my team is better than yours.
I don't think so.
And people watching this.
You were so full of crap.
I think people watching this will agree that my team is better than yours. And I'm very confident.
You really believe that your team is better than mine?
Just watch the comments.
All right, hashtag Team Country, y'all.
Hashtag Team GS, and who was there for you guys providing content? Madden 12. Madden
you can't be biased like that.
How am I being
No,
biased?
you can't be biased like that.
Biased. I'm
just because you didn't meet me sooner.
I'm getting them vital information that they need to remember.
No, that's not what they need to remember. You need to remember who feeds you every day.
So, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed, man. It's our fantasy draft. Let us know who has the better team. Hashtag Team GS or hashtag Team GS.
Or hashtag Country.
We're going to be signing out.
Team Country.
Peace.